Y'all. Shalom, shalom. And as promised, we are doing the Sirach Ecclesiasticus verse by verse breakdown. As you know, we've already went through the first two chapters. That video is up on the channel already, and now we're going to get into uh, chapter 3, and it's good, y'all. It's like this thing comes in, it punches. And like I said, one of the important things that I said is this book of Sirach uh, is basically like Proverbs on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Same content, um, coming straight down the middle. And you, you could tell a lot of people don't study the book of Proverbs, and you could tell a lot of people don't study the book of Sirach, because they go directly against this stuff, and a lot of people just totally unaware of what's in these books. And in a nutshell, what's in these books is um, it's the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High broken down to the granular level to where you can't get it confused. You see what I'm saying? So, so like I said, we're going to start in Sirach chapter 3, and this book here comes out swinging. So we're gonna get it. What I'm gonna do, we are breaking it down verse by verse. We're going to read through everything, but all these verses are tying into the same topic, so we're going to read them together, okay? So with that said, let's get it rolling. So the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, we're on chapter 3 now, so we're going to get it going, okay? And it starts off, we're going to start verse 1. It says, "Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe." So it's basically saying to listen to your father's warning, children, and act accordingly so that you may be safe. Okay, it's in kind of the old English, but you're gonna definitely get. They're gonna drill in the main idea of what they're getting at with these verses. They're gonna, like I said, they they repeat it from all these different angles so you could get a good understanding on it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna continue. Just hold on one sec. All right. This is gonna really give y'all some understanding. All right. "For the Lord have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins, and he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. He that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. He that feareth the Lord will honor his father, and will be uh, service unto his parents as to his masters. Honor thy father and mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessings of the father establish the house of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." We're going to get the meat off the bone with all this. We're going to break it down. I'm just getting through it. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for the father's dishonor is not glory unto thee. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother is dishonor, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up. Okay? So, what we read through here in these verses is totally opposite what gets pushed in these cultures, in our culture here. You hear a lot of, I guess, bitter women dishonoring the father. He deadbeat dad, this, that, your daddy's sorry, all this stuff. And you hear a lot of children echo the sentiment of women dishonoring their father. Oh, he ain't my dad. I ain't got no dad, saying stuff like this. And I have seen firsthand in my life, I can't name drop on this one, but trust me, I have seen firsthand within my family where people would dishonor their father, listening to women and other things like that, only to repeat what that father did and be even more more so, even more bitter against that man. Really dishonoring him because they're not reading this word, whereas hot is saying a father is to be honored, and the mother too to be honored, but even more so the father is to be honored. But from the brainwashing of this society, and because and to the and due to the effeminizing of men, you get a lot of men just going like, oh yeah, my dad a piece of crap, or saying all types of stuff, not understanding, not having wisdom and understanding and empathy, and thinking, yo, this dude went through it. I'll be transparent. In my family, we had a solid family up to about the time I was like maybe 10, 11, 12, something like that. Then I'm not going to go into it. I've talked about it on here before, but our family began to fall apart. It was mistakes my father had made. It was a lot of stuff, and they ended up getting divorced. My brother took it one way. I took I always had that honor for my father, even though situation was bad. But it's like, hey, this is my father. You know what I'm saying? There's something there. A lot of y'all don't even have fathers. I know a lot of brothers that get older and they begin to mature and see things. I know brother, I was talking to teacher Greg about this. He was talking about his father and how, I think he was saying how when he got older, he was, oh no, it was Elder Mitchell was telling me about this. When he got older and his eyes were open more, he was able to see clear of, okay, this is why you did this is why you did that, you know. Everybody want to talk about deadbeat dads. Oh, well, if he loved me, he wouldn't have left me and all this. Listen, as a man, you got to keep your honor. And what this society seeks to do is emasculate you. This society comes to cut your balls off as a man. That's what they come to do. Through their legal system, through the way stuff's structured, through the way they brainwash women, the society. And sometimes the only thing a man can do is leave for the best interests of the women, of the children, and everything. The best thing that man can do is get up out of there. Because again, I've seen a lot in my time growing up. I've seen death. I've seen what happens when a man, against his masculinity, and which you're charged to not be an effeminate man. And I've watched men compromise their masculinity and stay somewhere they shouldn't have stayed, and people end up in jail or people end up dead. You know what I'm saying? So this right here, like I said, this chapter is coming out swinging hard. There's a lot of effeminate behavior out there when it comes to men. I never push some child or whatever, oh yeah, your dad a piece of shit. Yo, you don't know what shaped that dude. Now, I do tell brothers here, look, your parents failed. Don't repeat the sins of your forefathers. But to sit there and not understand the meat grinder of this society that we live in that's set up to grind men to powder, which you can look at history, you can look at COINTELPRO, you can look at the welfare movement in the 70s, you can look at the crack epidemic, you can look at the jail system and how it's all rigged up to grind you to powder, to destroy that family unit. And it was the government. The information is out there now where the government willfully went out to destroy families, particularly black families, to destroy them. And to this day, it's the case. I was listening to this thing about something called 4A amendment or something. There's something out there about how the child support courts, how the judges in those courts are not acting on their own volition. They're following rules that they have to function by, and they have to like destroy that dude financially. It's in the regulations. It's brutal, man. They got to put him in jail if he's late and take his license and make it so he can't earn money, and then he can't pay the child support, and then he has to go to jail. It's a meat grinder. Okay? And so I watch a lot of feminine men unknowingly kind of just be at odds with what the word says. It says, honor your father. And yeah, like talking about my father, he messed up, he made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And it messed family up. Am I sitting there saying he was just a piece of shit and this, that, and the other? No. You know, I knew my father. I know what happened. I know some of the things that shaped him. My grandfather was killed when my father was or was murdered or whatever, when my father was about I think it was right around the time he was learning to drive or something like that. But he was I forget the age, but he was murdered by some racist dude who my grandfather had a successful business, and some racist dude hit him upside the head with something and killed him, snuck up on him, hit him, you know. And of course, my father had a big family, and he had to drop out of school and provide for the family, you know. Just the curses of Israel. But again, we getting back into this truth, and the curses stop here. So we got to stop falling in line with these Gentiles and everything, get in line with this book. You see what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button if I'm keeping it 100 and y'all get what I'm saying. Also, hit that like button if the audio's good. If y'all can hear on the audio clearly, okay? But like I said, this thing coming out swinging, man. Sirach chapter 3, okay? For those of y'all watching, because I went live on short, so those of y'all watching where you see the vertical broadcast, I'm also, if you go to my channel, I'm streaming horizontally with the Bible verses up there too. So y'all can swing over there if y'all want to see the Bible verses on the screen. So I'm dual simulcasting on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? All right. So this is something you really need to get in here and study this, where you get a lot of these wicked ass women that try to turn the children against the father. And well, he left y'all. Well, he left y'all. Well, if he had stayed around your big mouth ass, he probably would have killed somebody. You see what I'm saying? But they don't tell you that. But when you get older, you see it. You see what I'm saying? So reality be something different. It ain't always cupcakes and bubble gum. All right. Um, and y'all, and inevitably, when men get older, they get it. When men get older, they see, yo, it ain't all what it's cut out to be. A lot of these women out here are bad news. A lot of men and women grow up, they don't have a clue about what it takes to make a relationship work. You see what I'm saying? So this is why all praise to the Most High. We gotta set things straight, man. F all this religious spirit that people have, and this brainwashing we've gotten from this diabolical satanic church called Catholicism and Christianity, where they don't go by this word. They propagate Satan's whatever you want to call it, doctrines. All right. So we're gonna keep reading. All right. I think we covered that. And also, if y'all have any questions, you could ask them, but they have to be related to what we're reading about here. I'm not doing a QA thing where I'm just taking any question. And then to my moderators, y'all see somebody in there acting up, delete them. All right. Okay, so so now we're gonna keep reading. Okay, I think we left off at 15. It says, "In the day of thine affliction, it shall be remembered. Thy sins also shall melt away as the ice in the fair, warmer weather." So they're talking about your treatment of your father. Okay. He that forsaken his father is a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed of God. So let's get into the mother. So honor your mother too. One of the things, man, when I went into the military, I was about halfway. I was almost done with basic training, and I got one of my calls where I could call home. And man, all I could say to my mother was, "Mom, you were right, man. Everything you told me, you were right." I was like, "Now I see what you've been saying to me." I was like, I just kept telling her, like, man, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? And on out from basic training, I got into tech school. I kept saying the same thing. I began to see a lot about myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Like my mother, she did a good job with our family and some of the choices and decisions she made. She didn't. It's a source of soreness that she hasn't come into this truth and this understanding that I'm in. She's still in Christianity, but look, I ain't saying I ain't gonna be out here dishonoring my mother, like, oh, she's just a shitty mother, this, that, and the other. No, and no. My parents did a good job with the information they had and what they knew, they did great. But there was a lot of stuff that they didn't do right that, hey, I became aware of with the wisdom I have at hand, and I'm not trying to go back and repeat the sins of my forefathers or my ancestors or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It has to change. I watch a lot of people get into this and just or not get into it. Well, no, actually, I watch a lot of people get into this truth and just go down. They're literally going on the same trajectory their parents went, getting ready to repeat the same sins and get themselves destroyed. I can't tell you the number of times, excuse me, I see that. Where again, that religious spirit is so prevalent. You see what I'm saying? That religious spirit is so prevalent, it doesn't make sense. Like what the Catholic Church did, and then the harlots it birthed with the Christian doctrines, what it did, the job, like what it did to your brain is completely twisted what the word is into some type of philosophical feel-good mental emotional exercise or whatever. That's what it turned the Bible into. Instead of a practical book that you can implement in your life to avoid all these traps that are killing people in life, whether it's relationships or mindsets or just paths they go down. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep reading. Listen to this. Like I said, Sirach chapter 3 comes out swinging. It says, we're on 17. My son, go on with thy business in meekness. So shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself. So the greater you become, the more humble you need to become. And again, we see a lot of people, man, they wrestle with this thing here, boy. This is a fight, that spirit of pride. Nobody's immune to it. Satan, and look, Satan ain't got no off limits with nobody. It says, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. Okay? For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. So you see a lot of people, man, they get in a position where people are doing what they say and all this stuff, and it goes to their head. They turn into monsters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is real. And I could tell you, like me, I'm a head of an assembly. In our assembly, in the Straitway Nashville assembly, we have serious-minded saints. I don't want to say the majority, but a large portion of the saints in the Straitway Nashville assembly are serious-minded, and they have divested themselves of people, places, things, and mindsets that are contrary to the word. So when they're asked to do something, it's literally like the military. That, hey, you think you could do this? Yes, sir. And it's carried out. And they're serious-minded saints. Me as a head of assembly, I have to fight and stay vigilant that pride doesn't creep in, because there's no easier time for pride to creep in and for you to get a high lofty opinion of yourself and what you think you got going on when you're in a position of authority or whatever, and everybody is just 100% submitted, not to me. They're being obedient to Yah. And they're trusting that, hey, Yah's dealing with me and we're moving in that direction, everything like that. And I watch people fall victim to, they start thinking they something. And Yah will take your ass down. He could take me down so quick. Boom. It's so easy. He showed it to me. He made me realize, hey, look, I got this thing sustaining itself. One little, and you look like a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta humble yourself. But if you're a man and you become a head of household, I watch a lot of men that can't handle it. Kneel before me, women. Worship me as Lord. Kneel before God. Instead of ruling over that woman with love, and when you see it from the outside, it looks like y'all are just like this. But the reality of that relationship is that, hey, that woman honors you as the man, and you honor her as a weaker vessel. And understand her weaknesses and how you have to deal with her weaknesses. A lot of dudes, man, they goddamn cavemen. You know what I'm saying? And honored him as the Lord. Don't talk back to me, woman, blah, blah, and all this stuff like that. And dude, you're a goddamn caveman. Like, it don't work like that. Like, she's part of your body. Like, I don't be like, left hand, obey me and make a fist. Left hand, you better make that fist quicker, or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. Make a fist. That wasn't quick enough. Wham! You start hitting your hand against the table because it ain't making a fist quick enough. And guess where you're gonna feel that at? Up here in your head and in your nervous system. And it's like, yo, people don't get this. Like, there's a lot of people that wrestle with this meekness thing that they don't even and when you see somebody and they're not meek and they're not sensitive to that, it can almost, it's like, it's almost embarrassing and uncomfortable to be around. You know what I'm saying? And it can destroy you. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out things. Oh, man, like I said, this book coming out swinging. Listen to this. Seek not out things that are too hard for thee. Neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than man understands. Y'all, this is one of the reasons why I got like a lot of what's out there in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. A lot of these videos out here that these people are making about, oh, America used to be Israel or Jerusalem or is here, and they diving into all these what is that? They diving into all these books and all these ancient books and digging into all this ancient wisdom, and you got these other people that studying all deep into the Bible and trying to unearth all this history and all this, and I began, I knew a lot of people in the Hebrew Israelite community, and they're digging into all this stuff, and it's like, yo, but what's the point? Because I was like, yo, this is an endless rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is another deception of Satan. What does y'all want us to do? He said, obey him and keep his commandments. Gather yourselves together. Come out from among them. He didn't tell me to go dig all deep into all this deep essence and try to figure everything out. That the common theme through the whole book is obey Yah. Be obedient to what he says. You know what I'm saying? And it's surface level. You don't even have to get the second meaning of most of this stuff. Just trying to do the surface level stuff will consume this whole life of trying to get in line with all that stuff. So a lot of people, they get misled. They try to add on and create all types of extra stuff on things. And bro, you ain't even doing, read Proverbs and see if you could be obedient to that. That right there is gonna, a lot of y'all gonna be warring with that for a good chunk of your life. Just doing that, let alone trying to go one level below that and see the meaning below that. I ain't ran into anybody who's there where they ready to move into all that. Okay. Okay, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. You see what I'm saying? So, again, many people are deceived by their own vain opinion. When the book is simple, it's straightforward. He's not the author of confusion. Without eyes thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. Okay? I mean, that one there, I literally don't have to break that down. You know what I'm saying? An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. In the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness have taken root in him. So if in the punishment of the proud, it ain't trying to punish somebody, rebuke somebody who's prideful. It ain't gonna work. They can't see through it. I'm good. It ain't me. I ain't wrong. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? The heart of the prudent will understand a parable. So the heart of the prudent. Prudent means thinking ahead, taking consideration for things in the future. FDA, I see you said, where were you reading from, Brother Mike? What chapter? It's chapter 3. And if you go, I'm live streaming on my, if you go to the Spiritual Combat channel, I got 2 live streams going. The one you're on, the vertical one, is not displaying the verses. The other one I have, I got the verses on the screen. So you could just go right back to my Spiritual Combat channel, and I got it up there. But hit the like button before you head over there. Y'all hit the like button for me so we can bring more people in. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man. So, like I said, man, we see it even, here as a head of assembly, man, you see prudent people who desire, understand, they want to get their stuff together. They understand the importance of getting this understanding. And then you see people who have an attentive ear, they want to hear it. And then you see people that's the opposite of that. And you learn quick to just leave them alone. It's a waste of time. Water will quench a flaming fire, and alms maketh an atonement for sins. Okay, and we're gonna read this in a different version to get see if we get a better understanding of it. Water will put out a blazing fire, and giving to those in need will make up for sins. There you go. Very simple breakdown. And I know what alms are and all that, but it atones for sin, so it covers sins. Okay. All right, now 131. And he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter, and when he falleth, he shall find a stay. So he that requiteth good turns in mindful. So let's read another one. Those who repay favors consider the future, and at the moment when they fall, they will find support. Okay? And this goes to those people who are very self-centered, self-focused, and self-absorbed. Um, you know, you see they never do have true brotherhood or sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he said he's here now. Thanks for the heads up. Okay, all right. Make sure y'all hit that like button over there. All right. So that was good. That was good. So now we're gonna go. That was the end of Sirach chapter 4, and that's another name. There's multiple names for the book of Sirach: Ecclesiasticus, Ben Sira, or Sirach. I think there's another name, but it has a lot of names. That's one of them. But now we're going to head on over to chapter 4, okay? It says, my son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Okay? So, and we have, even here in the assembly, we have people that fall upon hard times, and sometimes they done did something stupid. We rebuke them, but we help them. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of brothers that we've lent money to, and they pay it back, and we make sure there's accountability also, because we've had people in the assembly that they prey on the benevolence of well-meaning saints. So, and what I mean is, they try to take advantage of good-hearted people who have the gift of giving, of wanting to give all and give of themselves. And we have people that come in and they prey on that, and they come in to take advantage of that. You see what I'm saying? And hey, I deal with it straight up, hard by that. Like, I don't tiptoe through the tulips. I go in the group and I say, if anybody comes to you asking for money, it would behoove you to run it by me first, because we have people who take advantage. Sometimes I call the people out by name just to keep stuff transparent, because I'm telling you, man, where Yah's people are, Satan is right there trying to undermine things in some way, shape, or form. Not just money. There's a myriad of ways people function in that spirit, and with that, what they're trying to do is wear out the patience of the saints, take advantage of well-meaning people, burn them out, and now them people, you know, they're like, oh man, this all phony and blah blah blah, and they get discouraged. And it's a spirit operating in people that has them functioning in that manner. And look, that spirit don't like me, because I put that spirit on Front Street. Name, date, everything. Make sure everybody know. Must be sitting there with they looking like a sick duck when I get done putting their ass out there. Okay? All right. Rear space, you have to elaborate on what you're asking, or maybe I missed an earlier question you asked, but just elaborate if you can. All right, let's keep it moving. So, my son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Add not more trouble to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give to him that is in need. And reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from a poor man. Now, let's keep reading. Turn not away thine eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee. For if he curse thee in his bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him. So heard by Most High. Get thyself the love of the congregation, and bow thy head to a great man. So that's moving to another section. We're going to elaborate on what I just read concerning the poor. It's saying when somebody is in need, give them. Now, again, when we read this, a lot of y'all, I guarantee, is happening. Is happening now, where you're interpreting what's being read here through Christian goggles, and somebody's like, "Hey, I need money. This, that. You got to give them money." Well, if somebody's in need, give them money or give them blah blah blah. I can't tell you the number of times I have saints come to me in need, and they think they need one thing, and I discern that exactly what they need. Sometimes people need instruction and direction, and not a little patch to patch it up. We've gotten a lot of brothers and saints. We've helped a lot of saints get their lives in order, not giving them what they think they need, but giving them what they actually need. Sometimes it can be instruction. Sometimes it is money. Sometimes they need somebody to take them to do this. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we unearth serpents coming in to take advantage of the saint. Sometimes people think they need stuff. You need to do this for me. But the reality is, with the keen spirit of discernment, you realize they're going to get their salvation, their prayer answered by doing for others. You see what I'm saying? But we look through it through those religious Greco-Roman Catholic beast system lenses. You're going to get it twisted, and sometimes you're going to end up helping Satan and hurting y'all's people. Okay? Y'all hit the like button if that makes sense what I just said. Hit that like. I need y'all hit that like for this. We get more people in there. Let's get them likes up. Appreciate y'all. Okay? Prayer shall be heard. Okay, so now it says, get thyself the love of the congregation, and bow thy head to a great man. Uh-oh. This flies in the face of all them isolationites and all them isolationites out there, and those individualites who don't like fellowshipping, and ain't nobody ruling over me, and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's read it in another version. It says, behave yourself pleasantly in the assembly, and bow your head to an influential person. Listen to the poor, and reply with peaceful and gentle speech. Okay, so that jumps something else. But again, bow thy head to a great man. Get what I did when I came across Straightway and passed it out. I said, yo, this dude is doing what I've been praying about. He got his stuff together. I don't. I'm going to bow my head to a great man. I'm going to humble myself and submit to his leadership, and what he has laid out here that lines up with the word. I'm going to do that. And I did it. And here I am 4 or 5 years later. Now I'm debt free. I've gotten my wife off the job. I've gotten my children out of the public food system. I can name a whole bunch of things where I'm in a way better place than I was back then. Why? Because I became a part of a congregation. Okay, and what did it say? And I behaved myself pleasantly in that congregation, in that assembly, and I bowed my head before a great man. You see what I'm saying? It makes sense. You see the fruit. Everybody knows I'm not just sitting here talking. You can go back and watch the documented videos of my progression over the years. Where this ain't just talking. I got years of videos on on spiritual combat showing, backing up what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. Let's see. It says, let it not grieve thee to bow down thine ear to the poor, and give him a friendly answer with meekness. Deliver him that suffereth wrong from the hand of the oppressor, and be not faint-hearted when thou sittest in judgment. Okay? So we're going to read this in another verse. It says, set the wrong free from the hand of the wrongdoer, and don't be timid when you give judgment. Okay? So again, don't be one of those people who go along to get along. If something off, speak up about it. And like I tell people, man, if something's off and you speak up about it and folks don't change it, hand it over to the Most High Yah. He's faithful and just. He'll deal with it. All right. Let's see. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of a husband unto their mother. So shalt thou be as the son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother doeth. Okay? So be as a father to the fatherless. We have, being a head of assembly and everything like that. I have videos I've put out, and I talk about this often, about the unfathered male. Okay, grown men that have never been fathered. So we run into a lot of men who, or you say a lot of males who've never been fathered, and they don't have the self-esteem and the self-confidence and you know what I'm saying? They haven't been like through a rite of passage where they have confidence in themselves. They don't understand true biblical masculinity. And one of my prayers way back when I was 26 and I was trying to sort through and figure my way out through this life, because again, my father was in my life, but there were still a lot of things that I hadn't been taught. I didn't learn, particularly about relationships and women, stuff like that. And I said a prayer to the Most High. I said, "Yeah, if you show me this and show me, give me understanding in this," I said, "I will put this out far and wide. I will teach it to other men so they don't have to, go through all the pain I went through, and they can get answers. I'll be a beacon of light to these brothers. I'll be a father to the fatherless in that capacity, where I will break this stuff down to them." Okay. We're on verse 11 now. Okay, of chapter 4 in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus. Wisdom exalteth her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her. Okay? Look, you go and read that book of Proverbs, and when you read through the Bible, this man, the Most High, is pleading with you to get wisdom and to get understanding. His spirit of wisdom. It says, wisdom exalteth her children and layeth hold of them that seek her. If you seek after wisdom, godly, righteous wisdom, you're going to be lifted up. You're going to be in a position, and you're going to just see how big of a deal wisdom is, and a lot of people don't push it. But wisdom is a big deal, and you'll see by the I was going to say exaggeration, not exaggeration, but by the emphasis. You're going to see by the emphasis that the book of Sirach puts on wisdom. You're going to see by the emphasis that the book of Proverbs puts on wisdom. In fact, Proverbs, the first like 8 chapters of Proverbs opens up with how critical wisdom is. You see what I'm saying? All right, let's see. Wisdom exalteth her children and layeth hold of them that seek her. He that loveth her loveth life, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy. It's talking about wisdom. He that holdeth her fast shall inherit glory, and whosoever she entereth, the Lord will bless. It's talking about wisdom. They that serve her shall minister to the Holy One, and them that love her, the Lord doeth love. And that's the spirit of wisdom, whatever you want to call it. That is what I seek after. I can remember, man, after I got out of basic training, look, I got out of basic and fixed a bunch of stuff and saw a bunch of stuff about myself. Then when I got to tech school, you get, because I was in the Air Force. Once you get to tech school or technical school, this is where you're learning your trade. And what they do in tech school, whereas in basic training, in Air Force basic training, they put you under a pretty good mental load, but more of a physical load too, kind of, with marching and all this other stuff. But when I got to tech school, they put you under a heavy mental load. A lot of testing, a lot of responsibility, and I really began seeing how jacked up I was. And then you learning to get along with people, because it's like 2 or 3 people in a dorm room or whatever. And then when I got to my first duty station, McGuire Air Force Base, and now I'm on the job, and they put a big load on you to get up to speed and learn how to do your job. And boy, I started seeing a lot of issues about myself, man. And I remember, man, reading the book of Proverbs, and just y'all read them first. Read the beginning of them first 8. I want to say it's the first 16 chapters, and the emphasis it puts on wisdom. Okay, and I remember just seeking the Father even way back then to give me wisdom, because I knew I was a fool. You know what I'm saying? Yes. It's the real deal. And you're going to see it as we read through this. This is a big theme of these books. Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations. Who shall give ear to wisdom will judge the nations. Do y'all hear this? Why ain't nobody pushing this? And he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. All right? Ain't this good? Hit that like button if y'all getting this. If this is hitting. Okay? For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline. This talking about wisdom, getting your ass in line until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. Then will she return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets. Y'all, let me tell you, like even right now, this is filling in some things I ask questions about. Like, why? Because literally, while I was telling y'all that story about how I used to study Proverbs early in my military career, and then how I prayed to Yah that he would give me that wisdom for years, like I told y'all, the good chunk of my military career was fighting and struggling with authority and co-workers and stuff like that. And then right near the end of my career, man, everything smoothed out because the wisdom began to trust me, and it set my path right. And it began to bless me, and that wisdom began to reveal its secrets. Because I was broke, I became humble and through being humiliated by that wisdom that I was seeking. Okay? So, man, I mean, that filled it all in, because I was wondering why I was seeking that, and it didn't just come. It didn't just happen. I went through a whole bunch of stuff, and it led me down this path. Look at that. It said, for at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways. So that wisdom is going to walk with you on them crooked paths. And it's going to bring fear to you. And I'm telling you, man, I've seen some stuff in my life like, yo, I got to get it together. Because what I just saw there, I don't want none of that. You see what I'm saying? And so, man, this is real. Okay? I saw that. Like, this is exciting, man. This really filled in a piece that I was like, why did I study Proverbs like that? And then nothing happened. It was almost like there was like almost like a dead period or whatever. But I was slowly learning, hey, don't do this. Hey, this ain't good. Hey, this is, you know. So it said, then she will return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets. But if he go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin. Observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. So sometimes you need to be humiliated so that hopefully you will humble yourself. But some people in their pride, they cover up their shame with more sin. You know what I'm saying? Accept no person against thy soul, and let not thy reverence of any man cause thee to fall. So if something ain't lining up with book, cut it off. Now we're going to read that in another translation, that same verse. It says, don't show partiality to your own hurt, and don't show respect to your own downfall. So that one said a little different. Let's see another one. That one seemed a little. It says, concentrate on the law which has been given to you. You do not need to know about things. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Okay, I see what I did. Sorry about that, y'all. I was in a different chapter. Do not let others have their way at your expense. Do not bring on your own ruin by giving up your rights. Okay, that was one. Now, let me go to this other, And that was the other one I read. So, but I like the KJV breakdown. Accept no person against thy soul. So don't be sin. Don't be sinning to accommodate someone basically. And also the way I heard that is, you discern somebody wicked, trust it. That's another way I saw that one. And it says, and refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good, and hide not thy wisdom in her beauty. So, you don't want to bury your talents. There's a Bible verse that talks about that. You know what I'm saying? So speak up. And like I said, by the time I got out the military, I was like 26, and the Most High was dealing with me. And I said, yeah, if you show me the way on this, I said, I'm going to speak it far and wide. You know what I'm saying? And I'm walking that out today, right now, as you watching me. For by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. So you get a lot of people, man, they know all this stuff, but they don't want to speak. And man, like I was searching, man. I was like, yeah, send me somebody who can lead me and guide me and this, that, and the other. And this is back when I was 26. These are the things I'm asking. And I was like, and once I learned this stuff, I said, I'm gonna spread it far and wide. And the years went by and like nobody showed up. Year after year, I was like, but I'd be asking. And then the next thing you know, I'm beginning to be the person. And then what happened when I finally did meet a person that was on another level than me, that I saw as that person, which was Pastor Dow. And so I finally met him. Oh, there's that person. Well, then I became the leader of men. I became the head of assembly. And it's like, well, I'm one of them or whatever. I'm here. I'm guiding men on this. And I was like, huh. And come to find out, wisdom led me that way. You know what I'm saying? And if some of y'all don't, I don't want to sound too, whatever, but some of y'all don't know me. But if you go and watch my channel and watch my history, you'll see what I'm talking about more. So I ain't sitting there saying stuff. So, for by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. In no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of the error of thine ignorance. Okay, let's read in another one. Don't contradict the truth, but don't be ashamed when you don't know the answer. And you're going to see that as I read through this, as we do this Bible study. There's going to be verses, and y'all seen it, some of these verses where I go and read it in another version, I don't understand the breakdown. And I'll say it, because clearly Michael Israel is not the all-knowing, high muckety muck or something like that. One of the biggest things I can say is, like, I feel like I know less now than I did when I was in my 20s, because it's like the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. Okay. Be not ashamed to confess thy sins, and force not the course of the river. Okay? So be real. Don't try to cover stuff up. Don't try to be phony. If anybody follows my channel, know I keep it 100. I ain't trying to act. I'm not walking around with a religious spirit. And I mean, there's a lot of people who walk around with this religious spirit, trying to act like they good and all this stuff, and they be some of the wickedest people you ever come around. And it's that religious spirit. And what these people do, they come into this truth, and they will quickly gravitate to the surface level outward stuff. Anything that makes them appear righteous, that they could do easily, But then in the heat of the moment, when the pressure's on and nobody's watching, and when that temptation's there, they fold like a card house in a hurricane. You see what I'm saying? They done immediately. And they some of the wickedest people you be around. It's a religious spirit. And they try to force the river. But we got to keep it 100. You see what I'm saying? Hit the like button if I'm making sense to y'all, man. If y'all get where I'm coming from. Be not ashamed to confess thy sins. And it says, enforce not the course of the river. Let's read that in a other breakdown. It says, don't be ashamed to confess your sins. There's no point in trying to stop a river from flowing. So, and that's what these people don't realize. The people who real in 100, the people who got a religious spirit and they phony and fake, you know what I'm saying? They stick out like a sore thumb. And and you hear these people, they be trying to work so hard to cover up their wickedness. It's literally like trying to stop a river from flowing. And it's obvious. We know your ass wicked. Okay. We see your demons on you. Go get some deliverance and keep it 100. You see what I'm saying? It says, be not ashamed to confess thy sins, and force not the course of the river. Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. Okay, so 27. Don't lower yourself before a fool, and don't show partiality toward the powerful. Okay, that's what it's about, man. You saw and Ask the Elect. One of the topics we talk about is people not speaking up, people operating in spirits of fear. If somebody off, check their ass. Tell them. Don't be a respecter of persons and positions. Fear Yah. And like I said, somebody off, tell them, hey, bro, you might need to work on this. You off here. With all due respect. Okay. You've done your part. Now, hand it over to Yah. Let Yah deal with it. Y'all, I'm saying this because I've seen it firsthand. I don't watch Yah set crooked things straight in his own time, not in my time, in his own time. You see what I'm saying? It said, make yourself not an underling to a foolish man. When you look at there's different connotations, whatever, of foolish and what a fool is. But when you're in these books, when they're talking about foolishness, the context is mainly is the context of not being wise, not being open to correction, being stubborn and stiff-necked and stiff-hearted, and not being able to receive correction, not wanting to know how to get better. That's the type of fool it's talking about. Strive for the truth unto death. Ooh. Woo. Y'all hit the like on that. Hit the like for the Most High Yah for giving us that. Who's doing that? It says strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Then I just say, hey, you lay it out before somebody, they off. I don't care what their position is or who they are. You owe it to them to lay them out. Show them due respect. And it said, and the Lord will fight for you. So strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for you, for thee. Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss. So again, just like you see, we got a lot of these social media influencers, these YouTube content creators running their mouth, making false accusations, but their footwork is zero. It's 0 to 1 at best, with 100 being the highest. You see what I'm saying? Let's read it in another version so y'all can get it from another angle. Don't be bold to speak, but sluggish and slack when it comes to action. Again, that's targeting, that's bullseyeing that religious spirit. Where you watch these people, man, deliverance time, they getting all type of deliverance. It come time to pray and to worship and all that. They all of it. But then you get in this situation behind the scenes where they could clearly show themselves to be a brother or a sister, whatever, and you see that wicked ass demon of self-centered, self-absorbed, self-focused come out and manifest. I'm just getting the meat off the bone with this thing coming straight down the middle with it. Let's read it in another version. It says, don't be quick to speak or lazy and negligent in your work. Okay, that's how I wrote it in that one. And it said or, okay? So it's telling you don't be quick to speak and don't be negligent in everything in the work. And that's the same thing said here. It said, be not hasty in thy tongue and in thy deeds slack and remiss. Okay? Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants. So when it says be not as a lion in your house, a lot of people are like, oh, don't yell at people in your house. What lions don't just roar. What do lions do? Lion will tear your ass apart and devour you and kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? So, don't be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants. In this other verse, it says, don't be like a lion in your house, putting on airs among your household slaves. Let's read in this one. Don't act like a lion. Don't act like a lion at home, or be suspicious of your servants. So that is kind of different there. Let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Uh-oh. That's the last verse. We gonna get all the meat off the bone on that. And I was talking to one of the saints about something we run into a lot. If you get around Israel, like I said, it's iron sharpen iron. It's not always gonna be like a boat ride down the river just cruising. You're gonna hit some rapid, you're gonna hit some rough water. And one of the things you run into a lot with our people is, again, like I said earlier, people coming in here with a mindset of what can the community do for me? What does the community owe to me? And they come in with this mindset. And I'm going to tell you, Straitway Nashville was not built on what can the community do for me. The way Straitway Nashville was built was on what can I do for the community. Our nucleus of brothers and the serious-minded, solid people who've helped push this thing forward have a mentality of what can I do for the community. And anytime you're dealing with these people, these types of people are always doing something to make your life easier. And then there's the other group. Every time you're dealing with their ass, it's always something negative. You're always rebuking them on something. They're always taken away from, whether it's the time, effort, resources, you name it. And it's because, again, that religious spirit, that self-centered spirit, these people are wicked. And Satan is fully operating in them, and they don't see it. But we love our brothers, and we're patient, and we're long-suffering. Not forever suffering, but long-suffering. So this verse, again, let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. And that's not just money. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's talking about serving the saints. A lot of saints, man, community help them. But when it's time, a community project, we're gonna go grind something out or whatever it might be, they know where to be seen. But them mugs will materialize out of thin air. You let me say, hey, we having a cookout, blah, blah, blah. We already got all the meat, blah, this, that, and the other. I'll be sitting there putting an announcement out on in our little group, and they're like materialize. They're like, somebody say free food. You be like, where you come from, man? Oh no, I just, you said it's gonna be a cookout for free food. Hey, like this dude ain't this a trick? Hand like stretched out like this when it's time for a handout, It's real talk. But you want to know what old Michael Israel do? Call them out. Put them on Front Street. CNN headline news they ass. And look, hey, a lot of people don't last here because they come with these religious spirits, man, and they off. And what are we doing? You know what this is about? You know what we're doing, man? It's iron sharpening iron. We gotta know who we bringing. We getting ready to move on land. When that time comes, we're moving on land. We gotta know who's who and what's what. And I'm telling you, man, it don't take long. You don't gotta be some rocket scientist to discern where people's hearts are at. What person, place, thing, or mindset is their God. It ain't hard. A lot of people's they mindset self-centered, self-absorbed, self-focused. They're their own God. They don't care. I can't tell you the number of times I done seen this play out with these people with these religious spirits. But as soon as a charged situation come up, Yah and his word go right out the window. They toss that shit right out the window, and it's me, my, me, my, why. Okay? Y'all hit the like button if old Michael Israel is making sense. And what we did, we went through, we started at Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, and we read all the way through 3 and all the way through chapter 4. And like I said, y'all hit that like button if chapter 3 didn't come out swinging. Just coming straight down the middle like, huh? I didn't know the word said this. Like, you're going to see, man, these books are going to show you where you way off at. And it's going to help you have life and have it more abundantly and see where you're doing stuff that's undermining your salvation. You know what I'm saying? Where you're walking around in a religious spirit. You've been deceived by the Greco-Roman beast Christian system. You see what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button if what I'm saying is making sense, y'all. Somebody hit it for me. Let's get them up there so this video could go out there far and wide, y'all. Let's hit that. And while I'm saying that, let's do questions, man. What questions do y'all have? While y'all hitting that like button, give me what questions do you have? For those of you who aren't watching the live, put in the comments. What y'all think of this teaching? What questions do you have about this teaching that I did? Put that in the comments. I'd like to know what you think. If there's anything you want me to cover, okay? But yeah, like I said, y'all, I'm telling you, man. Sirach chapter 3 or Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 came out swinging, and y'all seen it was turned up all the way through. Every verse was like a dagger. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, we only on we're only on the 4th chapter. That's it. We're only on chapter 4. Okay? Look, there are 53 chapters. Y'all wait till we get to 36. That's where it really start going in. Now, we are probably not going to read it all the way to the end because towards the end of the book is more like some prophetic type stuff and stuff like that. It's not parables. When we get to that point, we're going to probably switch over to the book of Proverbs, and we're going to start, and we're going to go all the way through Proverbs. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I got you. He said he can only hit the like button once or it will take the like away. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, y'all, hit it. Otherwise, just put if you've already hit it, just put a 100 in the chat there. All right, somebody asked a question. How often are you doing these studies, bro, Mike? Okay, so what he said is how often. It could be hard to type on these phones. He said, how often am I doing these studies? At a minimum, they're going to be once a week, every Monday. So, but if I get a chance and my schedule permits me, I'll actually be doing more during the week. Okay. But I got projects that I'm working on and a lot of goals I'm trying to get in order. And yeah, I'm making a big push in some areas with myself. So more than likely it'll be once a week, maybe twice. Somebody said my dad left when I was about 6 years old. I don't have a desire to go see him, but if he is in need, I'm there. Am I dishonoring him? Well, definitely, Brother Kerry, I definitely would have to hear more about why you don't want to see him. Maybe there's bitterness operating there. What did your mother tell you about him? You're gonna have to do some of that deep spiritual work and see what's going on in between your ears, like what's going on in your head, uh, what you're thinking about, what your thoughts are concerning that situation, because there's a big chance that there could be bitterness and rejection there, because listen, there is, and what I'm doing, y'all, I gotta plug this phone in before it dies, so we'll be good. Yeah, so what it could be, there could be bitterness operating there and rejection operating there. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, you'd have to see, why don't you want to see him? Maybe you want to get to the bottom of why he wasn't there. Okay, y'all give me a sec to get this thing. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Oh, okay, I got a better way. All right, y'all give me a sec. I gotta get this phone situated because I don't want it to die. But that was a good question, brother. But yeah, because I can tell you, the spirit of rejection. And you could check out the video I did a while back on the spirit of rejection. Um, yeah, it's gonna have to be like that, y'all. Yeah, you check the video I did on the spirit of rejection, and let me see. All right, there we go. I'm gonna just have to hold it like this. Yeah, you can check the video I did on the spirit of rejection. And one of the main areas that spirit of rejection stems from is not, a father not being there, because you were designed to be raised by your mother and your father, and even more so having your father there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see. I agree. quickly with, okay. So let's see if there's any other questions. Okay, yeah, somebody's saying that was a very good video. Awesome. Yeah, let me see if y'all got any more questions. Um, hallelujah. Somebody said, okay, forgive. Let me see. Y'all bear with me. So, yeah. All right, somebody said, Mom never said anything bad about him. It's only when we got much older that she mentioned some issues. Yeah, so you're gonna there's a very high chance. There's a very high chance that you're dealing with a spirit of rejection. Okay, the chances are very high. I recommend you check out that rejection video I did too, and just you know think about it, and do some searching, some spiritual searching. All right, somebody said it's in the commandment, so forever we honor thy mother and father, all other lies just to righteousness with Yah. So that's a good point that they made. It's in the commandments. And what did I tell you about the book of Sirach and the book of Proverbs? The book of Sirach and the book of Proverbs break the commandments down to the granular level. So did you see where I was reading that and it broke that commandment down? It was like, 16 verses talking about that. You see what I'm saying? So it really breaks it down to a granular level of what it means to honor your mother, honor your father. And it even talks about making sure you care for your father in his old age. Okay? Somebody said, does the Bible speak that we are to stay in consistent communication with family? No, what the Bible actually says is no man have left mother or father or daughter or home or lands for his name's sake and gained what did it say, 100-fold in this life and eternity in the life to come. I might have misquoted that, but you understand what I'm saying. So it tells you if they're not going in the way, leave them. That does not mean you are dishonoring them. Okay, there's a difference, and I know you're not saying that, but that's what people might be thinking, because a lot of people, they have a Christian uh, uh, view of the way they look at stuff, and they'll get caught up in that. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. All right. So they got that. All right. Somebody said, I myself was passed from house to house, no mom or dad. Yeah. So, you gotta, given there might be bitterness being harbored there because of that. You gotta again do that work. See if there's rejection going on. There's a high chance there is. You know, oh, they didn't like me. They didn't care for me. And that spirit gets in there and causes the cascade effect of rejection. Again, you watch that rejection video that I put out. Okay. If we can, my editors, if you can, put that in the description, and we'll put that rejection video in the description on this video once it's done. Somebody said, notice how it says also our wife, but never says wife to leave husband. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. But there is a verse where it does say, if well, wife can leave a husband, but she can't get remarried. So, but if the husband, so that comes in like if a husband is beating his wife, she can leave him. I'm trying to think of the scripture. I think it's in Romans or Corinthians or something like that. But yeah. So I'm not 100% sure. So I ain't gonna stand on that until I do my due diligence on it. Okay. Okay. Somebody. Okay. And everyone who has left house or brothers or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or fields for my sake will receive 100 times as much and will inherit eternal life. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna look into that. I like that. Yeah, I agree. A wife cannot give a bill of divorce. Okay, but a wife in the Greco-Roman beast system can file for divorce, but in a Hebraic marriage with a ketubah, a wife cannot give a bill of divorce. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Okay. All right. Somebody said, "Does the Bible?" Okay, no, I already answered that. All right. So anyway, y'all. With that said, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Um, hopefully, this teaching, this Bible study of the Book of Sirach, was edifying to you, and hopefully, it will encourage you to get in the Book of Sirach and the Book of Proverbs and study it more and get more wisdom and understanding out of it. Okay. But anyway, with that said, appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. Shalom, shalom.